Okay, this is going to be a really hard one. But Sam Kinison's mother was amazing. She really was. So, he started out his life, and his father was one of those Pentecostal preachers. Mom has all these boys. Dad leaves and only takes the oldest son. Okay? Sam's a wreck, wants to go with his dad. But at 4 years old, he got hit by a car. And it left him fearless in school and everywhere. His personality changed. Joe Rogan said the same thing happened to Roseanne Barr. Just something fundamental changes in your brain if you get hit by a car and really injured when you're a child. Okay, I totally believe it. So, she's got this crazy kid, and he becomes a preacher very early on. She puts him in the choir. He's an amazing singer. He becomes a preacher. He's horrible at it. Absolutely horrible at it. Marries a girl, madly in love with her, but he can't make a buck. And how it happened for the Pentecostals is they only made the money that was put into the little handout box, poor box, whatever you call it, basket. Whatever got in that basket while you were preaching, you got. He wasn't very good at it, but he was better than this other guy named Ed. Ed would come all the way in 100 miles to preach at this church week after week. He got nothing. Finally, Sam couldn't take it. And he brought his rifle, went up to where the organ was, shot a hole in the roof and said, "Would you give this guy some money? Y'all know every single week he comes, pays it's a 100-mile drive, doesn't have enough money for gas, doesn't have any pot for anything to do in it, and you don't give him any money." Shot the gun again. They gave the guy $500. And Sam's little career kind of got tanked, but his mom was very proud of him because it was true that they were not even paying for this guy's transportation. She was a good mom. She backed him up. She always did. She tried. She loved the way he sang, and he sang "Are You Lonesome Tonight" every night of her life after her husband left, even after she got a new husband who was a preacher. Still, he sang that song every night to her, and she was comforted. She'd make him sing it over and over. They had a really good relationship. Okay, everything's going great. She doesn't mind that he wants to become a comedian, and she tries to go to his shows. She even came to Texas to see some of his shows. She's a good mom, okay? He starts getting famous, and she's really, really happy. He plays in all these clubs, never gets booked. All the other guys get booked. He never gets booked. He gets the biggest laughs, nothing. Finally, Johnny Carson comes to one of his shows to see what's going on. Walks in. Here's the guy, laughs his head off. Johnny calls him over to the table afterwards. He says, "I don't understand. How come you haven't been on my show?" He said, "Your booking guy comes all the time. Sees me, hates me, books other people." He goes, "Oh, that's going to change." He said, hands him a card. He said, you call this number tomorrow. I want you on my show immediately." He goes, "Okay, send me a clip." So he sends him a clip of him singing. Johnny's like, this guy has a good voice. I'll let him do whatever he wants. Comedian, singing, whatever he wants. The guy's got it. The booking director says he's sorry. "I'll improve, Mr. Carson." Anyway, they book him on the show 2 days later. Sam Kinison. Nobody knows his name. Sam had been in the audience time and time again with his brothers. You have to show up at 2 o'clock. You get a ticket. You're supposed to come back at 5 a.m. So 2 a.m., you get your ticket. 5 a.m., you come back to validate that ticket, and then you can be on the show. They want to get an audience that really wants to be there. He knows the drill. So Sam has a food truck arrive for all the people that are going to be there the night he's going to be on the show, because he knows how they feel. And the food truck is for breakfast. He gives everybody on that line a breakfast. He goes up to every single one of those guys on the line, and he shakes their hand, and he says, I've been you 50 times. He said, you never know when it's going to hit. I'm going to be on the show tonight. Eat your biscuit, enjoy it. It's a big day. So he gets to the studio. Okay, fine. He's brought out. And Johnny Carson goes, so I'm bringing this new guy on tonight. His name is Sam Kinison. The audience goes crazy. Johnny sat back. He goes, whoa, you know this guy? They're like, yeah, screaming. So this is the clip I'm giving you. It's him singing, Are You Lonesome Tonight? Because his mother was there. He sings it beautifully. And then he goes into this rant. Not only was his mother there, he had 5 of his ex-girlfriends that really hurt him, but now wanted to know him again because he was going on Johnny Carson. He set all 5 of them up at the Waldorf Astoria on 5 different floors to come to the show that night. His mom's in the audience. All these women are in the audience. They've got seats way apart from each other. They don't even know all 5 of them are there. They think they're the only one, and they're Sam's favorite girl, and he wants her back. And he starts singing that song with the crazy happy ending of, you listen to it, you'll see it. Johnny goes crazy. The audience goes crazy. And then he got the booking director back because the 4 guys singing in the background are comedians who can't sing. So there are singers behind them, behind the curtain. And the booking director was put in charge of this, not the director of the TV show, to make it look good. And he got his comedians, the 4 comedians, paid really well for that. So that's the kind of guy he was. And his mom was there. And he was singing to his mom. She loved him. Everything was going great. I mean, he overdid. He was a mess. She understood all of his problems. He was 5'2". She understood why he had trouble with all the girls. Nothing could she ever see that he ever did wrong. She loved him. She was the only one that could help him when he was in a lot of trouble. So he was supposed to go on the Today Show. And same time, New York, there they are, going on the Today Show because he killed it that night. Okay, so he's exhausted. He was out partying. They're like, Mom, can you go in and help him get him up? He can't get up. Mom goes in. She's like, Sam, you've got to get up. He's like, oh, just got in bed. They turn the TV on. It's Today's Show, Sam. You got to get there. He's like, oh, I don't want to do it. They're watching the Space Challenger go up. It explodes. Sam says, I willed it. I'm going back to bed. The phone rings. It's the Today Show. Cancellation, Sam, because we're going to do the Challenger all day long. I willed it. He says, his mother said, okay, that's the end. That's the end of you. No more drinking. You are an animal. That's not funny. He said, I was just kidding, Mom. She said, it's not funny. It's the end. So, it took him a little while longer than that to clean up. It really did. But it took his girlfriend Malika, this crazy girl that he loved so much that his mother hated. She was with him. She was a dancer. I don't know what kind of dancer, but Sam didn't buy her very many clothes. Let me just put it like that. So, she had this thing happen where he caught her with the bodyguard. She said it was rape. He said it wasn't. It went to trial. And he said, I'm going to sober up Malika for you and my mother. The mother goes, Sam, I hate her. I hate her. You can't marry her. You cannot marry her. Please don't even think about it. He was like, Mom, I'm going to clean up. And when I'm clean, I'm going to marry her. She was like, God. He said, I need both of you. And I need both of these reasons to clean up. she let it go for a little while. She thought it wasn't going to work out. She thought Malika would back away. She didn't. He cleaned up. The mother had a dream. AD, her second husband, who really likes Sam, came to her in a dream, and he said, Sam only has a few weeks to live. He's got to clean up all of his finances and everything. He's got to straighten it out. She calls up Sam. She says, Sam, you know I got the power. You know I see things. You know I always have. AD came to me and he told me you're going to be dead in 2 weeks. He goes, and Sam believed her. And he goes, okay, Mom, I know what I'm going to do. She said, yeah, I know what you're going to do too. You're going to marry Malika, but that's not what you need to do. This is a curse, and she's cursed you. You got to just get away. He's like, Mom, I'm going to take care of everything. She didn't hear from him. She kind of knew what he did. He went to Hawaii. He married Malika. They come home from their honeymoon, very short honeymoon, in Hawaii, because he's got to go to this show. They get in the car. They're being followed by the van. Malika, Sam, married, happy at last. Mother's like, doesn't even know yet. Thinks everything's going to be fine. He's got the dog in the car. 20 miles away from their destination. He stops the car. The van stops behind him. People get out of the van. What are you doing, Sam? Because they just had lunch like an hour ago. I want everything out of my car, especially my dog. All my luggage, everything. They're like, what is this? What is he doing? But you can't, reason with Sam, so they just do it. Take everything out, especially the dog. Gives the dog a kiss. He gets back in his car. He goes 2 more miles. And he is hit by a pickup truck. Not wearing a seatbelt. Malika was. She got a concussion. He died. There's a video. It's not explained exactly who was holding him when this happened, but it is absolutely the truth. They say Carl LeBeouf was holding him. He wasn't getting along with Carl very well. One of the reasons is because he fathered a child with Carl's wife and that they had a big breakup, but Carl was desperate for money, so he comes on the show. I don't understand these people completely. He was giving Carl a break. Okay, the video has Carl saying that Sam was really wrapped up in the car. Still, like the steering wheel was on his chest. And everybody said, don't move, Sam, don't move. He weighed 280 pounds. He was 5'2". He wills himself out of the car, falls on top of this Carl guy. Nobody thinks he's going to die. He doesn't look that bad. He starts looking up and he says, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And then he looks higher up in the sky and he's listening to somebody and he goes, okay. And then he closes his eyes and he dies. And Carl says he felt his spirit leave. Brother calls up the mother. She says, you don't even have to tell me what happened. He's dead. And you don't even have to tell me what happened. You married Malika. That's what the mother knew. She knew everything. Every single thing. He should have listened to his mother. And Malika wasn't any good. She thought the will was, doctored. She was trouble. She maybe didn't even really love him. He turned his whole life around from her. The pictures of her with him. I'll make that the picture. He's so in love with her. And she didn't deserve him. So the mother was right. Mothers are always right. But this mother, it broke her heart and she died afterwards. So, poor Sam. Poor Mom. He said he was never going to make it to 40. He said that when he was 4 years old after the car accident. They were like, you're lucky to be alive. He said, I'm not going to live long. And he died at 38. He knew. But it didn't have to go like that. But it's funny he saved his dog. So, anyway, there's 2 little clips. The first one is that amazing Johnny Carson clip. Absolutely amazing. And then the one underneath is why he started fascinating me again. I found it on the internet, and it's just hilarious. He really did change comedy. He really was crazy. But I guess he kind of had a good heart when he wasn't on drugs. But he fell for Malika, and he fell really hard. And his mother was right. He was going to be cursed if he married her. I mean, mothers say that in movies all the time. And it's supposed to be like a joke. This woman wasn't joking. More power to moms. That's what I'm saying. People should listen to their moms. A little bit saner, and I'll be back.